Page 5 of 5. Ladies and gentlemen, let's attack this stuff. All right, homeboys and homegirls, dedicated to the last minute prep student who needs to know a bit more about the algebra that's going to be encountered in the upcoming test. It could be tomorrow, day after tomorrow, it could be in 5 days. But if you waited till last minute, this is the best source of help. If you have any questions during or after this, you can always contact me at 786 877 7231. And my name is Mr. Alberto. Again, if you have any questions, I don't know, whatever concerns you might have about the exam, you just contact me. Woo, woo, woo. Let's get busy. All right, this is the last page of the algebra drill. These 5 pages will certainly give you a sampling of all the different types of algebra questions that are frequently encountered in the stupid exam. Now, don't be fearful if you're a awesome student in school, but you're just a bad test taker. There ain't nothing wrong with that because welcome to the club. Everybody is that. All right, let's get busy. This is a hard question. Upper level question number 24. So we know to expect that there's going to be some dirty shenanigans going on in here, but always examine an image when they give it to you. For this particular image, you see an XY coordinate plane. I see that there's a y-intercept of a +2. I can also estimate that the x-intercept looks like it's going to be at a +8. Now, whenever they mention y-intercepts, that means x equals 0. Whenever they mention x-intercepts, that means y equals 0. Don't forget that. Basic ding-dong rules to know. What's the next thing I would do? I'd take a look at this image and see if I could recreate the slope-intercept formula. Now, notice that the line is a negative slope line. Now, your rise over run, remember, I told you the majority of the SAT questions are dealing with slope-intercept formulas. Your rise over run is your y over x. So what would it take to get this slope-intercept formula? I go from the y-intercept to +2. I go down, and I want to try and make an immediate right turn to where the x and y, the dark line crosses through the x and y perfectly. So it looks like I went down 1 and I went across 4. Now it's a negative slope line, so my slope is going to be -1/4x. Take a look at your answer choices. Each one is showing you that. They actually clued you in that the slope is definitely going to be a -1/4x. I just showed you how to do it an easy way. All right, now, what is the y-intercept? We said the y-intercept is a +2. Now, most students are going to see that and be like, oh, I got my answer. It is C, but actually it is wrong. C is not the answer to this question. They just played a dirty trick on you. What you have to do is realize you are certainly dealing with the question number 24, and that's when you deal with more trickerations. Now, read the question carefully. They're saying that the graph of y equals f of x, but +14 is shown. +14, what does that mean? This is y equals f of x +14, which means that it shifted up. That +14 means that the line originally from f of x shifted up 14 points to where it is now. So that means that the original line should be 14 points down. So let's go 14 points down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 points down, which should make that at -12. So your slope-intercept formula for the original formula is a -1/4x minus 12, which is A's and Apple Jacks, and that's it. The other thing you could have done, you could just gone to this +2 for the first line that they gave us and just subtract 14, and that would give you your -12 for your y-intercept of -12. And that's it for this question. Let's roll on to question number 3. Oh, question number 3 is an easy question. We should have no problem with this guy. Your slope-intercept formula that's being, or the slope, the line that's being shown to you, notice that where x equals 0, what does your y equal? -5. They give us another coordinate point right there at the blue. That means where x equals 1, y equals a -3. Oh, there's another point right here, which I'll put in yellow. When x equals a +3, y equals a -1. So take a look at your answer choices, your tables. All we have to do is match them up. When x equals 0, y equals a -5. Yes, I'll keep that answer. I'll keep this answer. Do I keep this answer? No, because there's no 5 in there, so therefore A is out. If there's no 5 in here, B is out. What's the next thing I could take a look at? The blue dots. When x equals 1, y equals what? A -3. That is not -3, so good night, C. This is a -3 when x equals 1, so D is my answer. And mama said, knock you out. Question number 8. Oh, we got a table in the setup. Now, whenever you see a table in the setup, you can quickly check to see if it's linear or if it's going to be an exponential formula. If we take the absolute value difference of 0 and 1, it is 1. Take the absolute value difference of 1 and 2, it is 1. Take the absolute value difference of 29 and 32, it is 3. Absolute value difference of 32 and 5 is going to be 3. Oh, now notice we are increasing from 29 to 32 to 35, so it's increasing 3. Your rise over run, again, rise over run is going to be your y over x. So what is your y? Your y is right there. That is 3. And it'll be a positive 3 because we're increasing in value. Positive 3 over what is your x value? Your x value is 1. So now we have part of our slope intercept formula, which is going to be y equals 3 over 1x. And it is a positive value of 3 over 1x plus b. Oh, what is our b? Remember what we said before when you're dealing with slope intercept forms? Oh, did I erase it? When they mention the y-intercept, then x equals 0. So in this case, what is your y-intercept? That's where x equals 0. So your y-intercept is a positive 29. And ding dong, the witch is dead with this one. Oh, wait, do we finish answering the question? Hold on, I'm not too sure. Positive 29. All right, now we're set. Take a look at our answer choices. Yeah, I think our answer is A as in Apple Jacks. 3x plus 29. Dun, dun, dun. Notice that your y-intercepts are wrong here. So these are two automatically wrong answers. And of course, your slope is not 35, it's 3. All right, next question, number 24. Oh, it's a hard question. Dirty. So what are we expecting? The dirtiness. Let me erase some of this business here. Here, we take a look at the table. Why is the dirty question? Notice in the table, they're giving us the letter S. Do you remember page 4 of 5? If you did page 4 of 5, there was a question that showed you slope-intercept formula that began with H times Y or HY. Where'd that H come from? It's a hard question. Here they're giving us an S. So what's the dealio? The previous question, we just dealt with taking a look at the table and determining what's the absolute value difference of a negative 2s and a negative s. It's an absolute value difference of s. What's the absolute value difference of a negative s and s? Remember, negative s minus s is going to be 2s. Absolute value difference is 2s. Now the absolute value difference of the other side. Let me do this one in red. It's going to be 3. And the absolute value difference of 21 and 15 is going to be 6. Okay, good. Now, how do we create our slope-intercept formula? Remember, it's going to be y over our x would be our slope-intercept formula. In this case, what is our y? It's going to be 3. Oh, I should have reversed the colors. My bad. But anyhow, you guys understand. What's my y? My y is going to be this guy right here. So it's going to be 3 over, and what is my x value? It's going to be this guy right here. So it's going to be 3 over s. Now, are we increasing in value on the y's? 24 to 21 to 15? No, we're decreasing. So it's a negative 3 over sx. And then I could say, well, I got plus b. I don't know what my y-intercept is yet. But how will we figure out the y-intercept? This is kind of a slick question. If we take a look at our negative s, here I'll circle negative s and s, what should sit in between those? Oh, wait, let me back up. What's up? Now, I remember a student yesterday say, what's up with the 6 and the 2s? All right, let's prove that it's the same negative 3 over sx. So it's going to be a y over our x, 2s, but of course it's negative. What does that also equal? Can we reduce it? Yes, it would be a negative 3 over 1s or just a negative 3 over s. So yes, it is a linear formula. At this point, once you've figured out that it is a linear formula, and it just takes seconds, I just took a little time to explain everything, then you can read and they will tell you that you are dealing with a linear relationship between x and y. Yes, it is a linear formula. You can anticipate that when you see an algebra table question like this. Now, they're asking which of the following equations represents that relationship? The one thing that we don't have is we don't have what is our b value or our slope intercept value. So remember, our slope intercept is when, our y-intercept is when y is a y-intercept, but our x equals 0. So in the table, where does x equal 0? We notice the negative s and the positive s. In between negative s and positive s is going to be 0. Well, think of it this way. Imagine s equals 1. So therefore, you have a negative 1 and you have a positive 1. What sits between negative 1 and positive 1? 0. So in between negative s and s is 0. So what's going to be the midpoint between 21 and 15? Well, what is 21 minus that 3? It's going to equal 18. So your y-intercept is actually 18. Ta-da! So now you have y equals a negative 3 over s x plus 18. Notice your answer choices. Your answer choices have to be in standard form. Right now we have slope-intercept form, so let's turn it into standard form. So what am I going to do with that s? I'm going to multiply s all the way across to get rid of that s in the denominator. So now when I multiply s all the way across, it'll be all the way across. So that would leave me with sy is equal to a negative 3x plus 18s. Now notice again the answer choices, they're in standard form. So that means I got to move the 3x to the other side by adding 3x to both sides. So if I add 3x to both sides, what am I going to have now? 3x plus sy equals 18s. And what answer does that match with? Answer choice B. Done. All right, guys. Yeah, that takes a little bit of practice. Why? Because it's a hard question. So if you're that student who waited to the last minute, if you see a question like this, you're probably going to get jammed up. Don't worry about it. As soon as you feel that hesitation, dummy your answer. Just pick an answer and move. Then you realize after you take the test, if you saw a question like this, you know what you have to do for the next 5 weeks, next 8 weeks to get ready for the next exam. So do your business, yo. Question number 4, last 2 questions left over. We know that this is going to be a hard question, so it's meant to trip us up. We're already expecting the tripperations. Bring it on. Bring it on like Donkey Kong. All right. Now I see the absolute value difference. Immediately I take a look at the table. What's the absolute value difference of 18 and 23? It's going to be Chinko. Absolute value difference of 23 and 26 is just going to be 3. And then we go to the other side. What's the absolute value difference of the y? It's going to be 30. And the absolute value difference of these two is going to be 18. But notice that the 130 is increasing to 160. 160 is increasing to 178. Rise over run. The rise over run looks like it's going to be a 30 over 5. Where'd I get that 30 over 5? Right here and right here. 30 over 5. Now, is it positive or negative? Remember, the y's are increasing in value, so it's going to be a positive 30 over 5x. Can we reduce that? Yes, that equals 30 divided by 5 is just 6, so it's a 6x. So far I have y equals 6x. All right, but we have plus b. So what is going to be our y-intercept? I'm going to explain this. It takes a while to explain, but then I'm going to erase it and then show it to you live that it takes you between 30 and 60 seconds. So how do we figure out our B value? Well, we could take, let me clean this up a little bit. We can take our X and Y values and plug them in. So if X equals 18, let's do it over here. Y equals 6 times, we take that 18 and then plus b, and it's going to have to equal 130. So I'm going to erase this and put 130. Now we're going to figure out what is our y-intercept. All right, so let's do our jobs. 130 equals 6 times 18, which is, that's 48, 108 plus b. Then we solve for b. Subtract 108 from both sides, so b equals 22. So our formula is y equals 6x plus 22. All right, big question that you might be thinking right now is, should I use this in Desmos? Yeah, this one could be used in Desmos, but you need to know what you're doing. And this one, the previous question, number 24, the one that came before with the S, I wouldn't use that in Desmos. It's going to be confusing. And plus, it wasn't that hard to consider it for Desmos. Right now, we got y equals 6x plus 22. Now we can read the question and see what it's asking. They're saying for line H, the table shows 3 values. So this is representing line H with the corresponding values of y. Now they're bringing up a line k. The line k is the result of translating line h, but going down 5 units. Okay, so if we're going to go down 5 units, that means we're going to take the y-intercept and subtract 5 from it. And that is going to equal 22 minus 5. I'm getting a brain fart right here. So it's going to be y equals 6x plus 18. Is that right? Wait, 2. 22 minus 5. It's too early in the morning to be doing this. Yeah, it's going to be 17. All right, slick. So we got 6x plus 17. Now they're asking, what is the x-intercept? The x-intercept is when y equals 0. Again, y equals 0. So if I put 0 here, then I just solve for x. So let's go ahead and solve. How do we solve for x? I'm still smiling because I got a brain fart. We subtract 17 from both sides. So that means I'm going to have a negative 17 equals 6x. And how I solve for x? X equals divide 6 by both sides. Negative 17 over 6. So D's your answer. All right, that's pretty much it for that one. Oh, wait a minute. I told you I'll do it from scratch. So you see it's definitely a 30 to 60 second question. All right, but you're practicing or getting ready at the last minute. I doubt this is a question that you want to mess with, but just to show you that you could be very good at doing this, I'm going to turn into the emotionless robot that I am when I take the test. Here we go. Difference between those two is going to be 5. Difference between those two is 3. That's going to be absolute value of 30. Absolute value of 18. What's my rise over run? It's going to be 30 over 5. It is increasing in value, so there is a positive. There we go, which I can reduce to 6x plus b. What's my b value? Let me just take this sucker right here. It's going to be 6 times 18 plus b equals 130, my y value. That's going to be 108 plus b equals 130. B equals 22. So my slope intercept formula is 6x plus 22. So y equals 6x plus 22. Question, line H. This is line H. Values, blah, 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 blah. Line K. Line K is a result of translating 5 units. So let's do my line K. So it's going to be y equals 6x. Translating 5 units down, subtract 5 plus 17. So that's my new formula. What is the x-intercept? The x-intercept set y equals 0, because the x-intercept is 1, y equals 0, so 6x, subtract 17 from both sides, and then x equals a negative 17 over 6, which is yo mama. That's how you do it. That's a 30 to 60 second question. Now, can you get to that level? Yes, but you have to certainly own your easy and middle level questions before you can fool around with that. How long will it take you? Well, maybe 5 to 8 weeks. So after you take your last minute test in the next couple of days, set your expectations. You're not going to hit a home run, but you're going to go in with some practice to recognize which questions you should own and which questions you need to leave to the side and just dummy answer. Last question on this page. Question number 21. No answer choices. Very short question, but it's still a hard question. It's in the 20s. So we got to be extra careful. The graph of 9x minus 10y equals 19 is translated down 4 units in the xy plane. All right. Could you plug this into Desmos? Yes, you can. You can plug it into Desmos. When you plug in what I underline in blue, it's going to show you a straight line. And then you can take your finger and go 4 units down on the y-intercept, whatever the y-intercept is, go down 4 units, and then you can see what the x coordinate of the x-intercept is. Remember, the x-intercept is when y equals 0. I'm going to do it longhand so you understand the big picture of this. So let me write 9x minus 10y equals 19. Now I'm going to solve for y. I'm going to turn it into slope intercept formula. So that's going to translate to 10y equals 9x minus 19. I like to keep my y positive and kick it off with y because that's what the slope intercept formula always does. But do your mechanics so you get to this point, and then the last step is going to be y equals, we divide 10 all the way across, 9 over 10x minus 19 over 10. And so we're going to translate down 4 units. That means we're going to subtract 4 from the y-intercept. So I'm really focusing my attention right here, just subtracting 4. We cool? All right, so let's subtract that 4. But if I'm going to subtract 4, remember, that is 4 over 1. If I'm subtracting the 2 fractions, I have to have common denominators. That's the other little piece that they're doing. So far, turning to slope-intercept formula, mechanics. Number 2, subtracting 4 from the fraction. They want to know if you know about common denominators. So I'm going to have to change that to 10 and multiply upstairs by 10. So that's a negative 40 over 10, which is the same as 4 over 1. When I do subtract it, I'm going to have my new formula. Y equals 9 over 10x minus 59 over 10. Now the question, they're saying, what is the x-coordinate of the x-intercept? That's when y equals 0. So if I set this to equal 0, let's go ahead and just solve for x. How do I solve for x? I'm going to add 59 over 10 to both sides. So now I'm going to have 59 over 10 equals 9 over 10x. What's my next step? I got to get rid of that 9 over 10. How do I do it? Multiply both sides by the reciprocal. So if I multiply this side by 9 over 10 and this side by 9 over 10, it would cancel this sucker. So now I'm going to have x equals, oh, we can, wait, did I do this right? 1 over 10. Oh, I didn't do the reciprocal? Dumbass. Ah, did I just say that? I sorry. Let me back that up. Hold on, hold on. Let me back it up this way. Gosh, man, it's so easy to make a careless error. It won't allow me. All right, there we go. Come on, back up, back up. I didn't do the reciprocal. So stupid. Here we go. Let's do the reciprocal. So easy to make a stupid mistake. Multiply by the reciprocal both sides. Ding dong. Get rid of that sucker. So now I'm going to have x equals, and let's do the other side. I can reduce that by 1, 1. So what am I going to be left with? X equals, what is it? 59 over 9. Now, I would leave that as my answer, but if you use the calculator, you're going to get 59 divided by 9, which is equal to 6.5555. This is also an answer in the test. So you have either 59 over 9 or 6.5555 as your answer. Now take a look at this. This is a hard question. The previous question is hard also. The previous one is hard. But notice that each one of those is made up of basic fundamentals of stupid algebra, especially slope-intercept formulas. And that's it for this video. Catch you next time. Remember, if you have any questions, you need access to additional documents or whatever, my number is 786-877-7231. Peace out, everybody. Take care.